Okay, so on this question, they're giving us this quadratic function. They're wanting us to find the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, vertex, and line symmetry. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down here. This is y, by the way. F of x is always y. So we have minus 2x squared is 2x plus 4. Okay. They start off by they're asking for the x-intercepts. So how do we find an x-intercept? Well, we have to plug in y0. We always find intercepts by plugging in the opposite letter as 0. So I'll grab that 0 and put it in right there. So I get 0 equals minus 2x squared minus 2x plus 4. And so now we need to factor this thing. Now, it's hard. We want to we don't want the front to be negative. So I'm going to multiply by -1. So I'm going to multiply by -1 here, 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 and here, all the way through. So -1 times 0 is 0. Negative times negative is positive here. 2x squared plus 2x minus 4. Does that make sense? Now, why did I do that? Why? To make the front positive. It's just a lot easier to factor if the front is positive. So I see how the front now is positive. It was negative. It's now positive. So multiply through, do that. And then you got to factor. So now I have to factor this thing. And so how do I go about factoring this thing? Okay, so to factor this one, I'm going to keep the 0 here and do the double parenthesis. And this is the kind where we do multiply and multiply, meaning another way you can say it is FOIL. So we're saying front times front to make front. What times what makes 2x squared? Well, that can be 2x and x, right? They multiply to be 2x squared. And then we got to do the back thing. So we've got to say, okay, and then that's what the L stands for, right? Front F, and the word FOIL, F stands for front times front, and L stands for last times last. So last times last to make -4. So that's going to be 4 times 1. Now, there's 2 orders we could do. We could put the 4 here and the 1 there. So what multiplies to equal? Oh, by the way, you might say 2 and 2 as well, because, right? What multiplies to be 4? 2 times 2 or 4 times 1? Well, it turns out it's going to be 4 and 1 in a particular order. And it's not 2 and 2. And you just, honestly, there's just nothing other than to check. You just have to check. That's why these are a little bit tedious. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to check this one. And this is actually going to be the wrong order. This one won't work. So first to both, that's going to be what? 2x squared. Excuse me. And 2x times 1 is 2x. And then second to both, 4x and 4. I'll put the pluses and minuses in later. But oh yeah, that one looks like it's going to work. Let's see. Is that one going to work? I think maybe it actually will. Let's see. So these 2 in the middle. How do I get right there with the sign in the middle? Remember the middle sign? That middle sign always goes to the bigger number. Goes right there to the bigger number. Plus 4 minus 2. That'll make plus 2 in the middle. Am I going too quick on that? Is that making sense? You seeing that? So again, the sign in the middle needs to go on the bigger of the 2 middle numbers. So 4 is bigger than 2, obviously. So that's the bigger of the 2 middle numbers. So you've got to take that sign in the middle, that plus sign, and put it on the bigger number, on the 4. And then plus 4, take away 2 is plus 2 in the middle. And then, okay, so that's great. How do they get back to the original? They have to crisscross. Remember, this minus sign goes there, and this plus sign goes there. And plus 4 times -1 does make -4. So it's actually right. So I got it right. Now, if I had switched the order, it wouldn't have worked. You know, there's all kinds of other things that wouldn't have worked. In fact, let me even show you one of them. What if instead I'd done 2x and x, and I put the 1 here and the 4 there? That wouldn't have worked. If we would have checked it, let me just show you real quick. It wouldn't have worked. If I did boom and a boom, I would get 2x squared, 8x, boom and a boom, 1x, and 4. And then no way 8 and 1 in the middle are ever going to go back to make the plus 2x, right? 8 and 1 adds to be 9, subtracts to be 7. No way it's ever going to add. Remember that it's multiply, add, multiply. No way it's going to ever add to be the middle plus 2. It isn't going to happen. So you see the 4 has to be here and the 1 has to be there. And if you did 2 and 2, that wouldn't quite work either. So anyway, my main point is you just have to check. You just have to multiply it out and keep fiddling with it. Every time you get the two middle numbers, like 2 and 4, you ask yourself, can I make the middle? Sign in the middle has to go on the bigger. See if there's a way to do it. If you can get it done, then that's right. Okay, so where do we go from here? So now you set each one to 0. You take the first one. You say 2x plus 4 is 0. Then you take the second one. So you said, and each one can be 0. And then you finish from there. So subtract 4 from both sides. Whoops, bumped the screen there. And then so 2x is minus 4, divide by 2. Minus 2 over here, add 1 to both sides. X is 1. So we've got our two answers. Now, do they want them both? Yeah, they do. So they want the smaller one first. That'd be the -2, and then the +1, smaller and larger. All right, good. So there's how you find the x-intercept. A lot of work. So now they want the y-intercept. How do we find the y-intercept? Remember, it's always opposite letter 0, right? To find an x-intercept, we plugged in y0. To find a y-intercept, plug in x is 0. So this will be easy. Take the equation, plug in 0 for x, 0 for x right there. Boom, boom, and they're just going to drop out. So it's just going to be y equals 4. So that's just going to be that number at the back because the x terms are going to drop out. So that's easy. So y is 4. All right, now they want the vertex. Next question, the vertex. How do we get the vertex? I'm going to come down to here. A lot of steps on these. They want the vertex. Vertex you find by x is -b over 2a. It's the magic formula for finding the vertex. X is -b over 2a. So let's know what are a, b, and c. So I'm going to grab the formula again. It's y equals -2x squared minus 2x. So back to the beginning here, minus 2x squared minus 2x plus 4, right? X squared. So I can't get rid of that. X squared minus 2x plus 4. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so what are a, b, and c? Well, this is a, b is -2, and c is this. So it form says negative, and then b is -2 right here over 2 times a. And what is a? Also -2. So what do we get? It's going to be +2 over -4, right? And then positive over negative is negative, and that's just 0.5. You can just divide that in your calculator. It's just half, 0.5, -0.5. So that's the x. Now plug in that x value, x is -0.5, to find y. So you just take that -0.5 and you go, okay, boom, and boom, right? And so, and remember, when you plug into any kind of function, you got to put parentheses around what you plug it in. -0.5 squared minus 2 times -0.5 plus 4. And now just hit the buttons on your calculator. I'm going to hit the buttons on my calculator and get a y value. So let's see. Oops. And so I'm getting positive 4.5 when I do all that. Let me double check that. So that'll be, yep, 4.5. Yeah, so be careful. Hit the buttons. Type this in just like it says. Make sure you use those parentheses. And I got my y value. So what do they want up here? They want the vertex. So we got the vertex. So the vertex is x is -0.5, 1. There's the x, there's the y. -0.5 and 4.5, so -0.5 and 4.5. We've got the vertex. Final Final piece of the puzzle, the line of symmetry. How do we find line of symmetry? Well, that's x equals the x value of the vertex right here. That's it. Why? Because I don't know if you remember back to when we graphed these things. If you graph a U-shape, a problem, if you were to graph this parabola, you could, what you would know is it's going to go through the point, back 0.5, like this point right here. It'd be like right about here. So a back 0.5 up 4.5, that's the XY value of the center, right? And then it would go down from there because ours goes down, has a negative in the front. Anyway, my point is the line of symmetry would go right through there. Oop, I missed it. I missed it just a little bit. Try again. There. That would be the line of symmetry. It'd go through the x-axis of x and y. It'd go through the x-axis what? At that x value. Because the line of symmetry has to go right through the center of the U-shape. And the center of the U-shape, of course, is the vertex. So it's x equals negative 0.5. It's whatever the x value is, because it has to go right through the center of the vertex. So that's why it's x equals negative 0.5, the x value for the vertex that we found. There we go.